Hello everyone, welcome back to Atreyu Crochet. So, in today's video we are going to be continuing with our sock. As you see, we've made the toe and we've made the main body part of the foot. So now we're going to move on to the heel. Okay, so let's just get right into it. So, I've completed all 25 rounds, and if you're reading the instructions you will notice that it doesn't say round 26, it says row 26. Okay, so that should clue you into the fact that at this point we're not going to be crocheting in rounds anymore. We're going to be crocheting in rows. And whenever you crochet in a row, more than likely you're going to have to turn your work. Okay, so it says with the color used for the toe, in this case for me it was blue, chain 1, single crochet into the next 18 stitches and turn. So I'm going to bring in this blue. You've noticed that I already slip stitched to complete round 25, and now that I'm on row 26 I'm going to bring in that blue. I could cut my yarn, but I'm not going to cut it. Okay, I'm just going to let it hang there. I'm going to grab my blue and I'm just going to bring it in like so. So just loop it onto your crochet hook and pull through. And then pull on the orange to make that loop disappear. You can pull on the blue a little bit as well. And just pull on that orange again. And now you can tie a couple of knots. So just because the orange yarn wasn't cut doesn't mean you can't tie a knot with the blue yarn to secure it. Alright, so it says chain 1. There we go. Now it says to put 1 single crochet into the next 18 stitches. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so you remember that in the previous round you started out with the 4 chains. We slip stitched into that first chain of that chain 4. So the next stitch would be the second chain. Alright, so we're going to put a single crochet in there, and then just in every stitch until we get to 18. So that's 1, the next chain, 2, the next chain, that's 3, the next stitch, this was that single crochet, it's going to be 4, the next chain, which is there in between that single crochet and that half double crochet, 5, the half double crochet is 6, the chain after the half double crochet is 7, and just keep doing that. I'm gonna keep counting. 8, and I want to grab some of that meat from that chain, so I like to get 2 loops on. You can kind of see there. See how I have 1, 2 there? Okay. 9. Make sure I haven't lost my count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright. To 18 we go. For this half double crochet, it can be kind of weird when you're trying to locate where to go. But this is the half double crochet. You see that little bit right there? Just slice the top of the cake. So just get under the top there, and you'll see that there's like one little notch below. Okay. Alright, I think that's 10, but let me double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, no more talking, just crochet. Chain is 11, single crochet is 12, the next chain is 13, the next half double crochet is 14, the next chain is 15, the next single crochet is 16, the next chain is 17. I don't like how big that loop is. Make it a little bit smaller. Alright, and then the next half double crochet, that should be 18, but I started talking, so let me double check. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18. All right, so we have all 18 single crochets made. Now it says to turn our work, so we'll turn it like that. Get that orange yarn out of the way. Okay, so this is what it should be looking like. This is where we started, where we switched to the blue. We crocheted 18 single crochets, and now we just turned our work. So row 27 says to chain 1, and it says to single crochet 2 together. So because I've worked through this, I know that it works best, even though it didn't specify, when you count the very first single crochet, which is the last single crochet that you made, that 18th. You count that one and the very next one. Those will be the first two, so you don't skip any stitches. Okay, so we chained 1, and to crochet 2 single crochet together, you enter the single crochet, that's the first one, yarn over, pull through, and then before yarning over and going through 2, you enter the next single crochet, because we're crocheting 2 together. Okay, like that. Yarn over, go through 2, and that leaves you with 3 loops, and then you yarn over and go through all 3. That's how you single crochet 2 together. So these 2 single crochets have now become 1, as is evidenced by that 1 top. Alright, so now it says single crochet into the next 14 stitches. So this is easy. So we'll just get to crocheting 14. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Alright, and then finally at the end of row 27 it says single crochet 2 together. So we know that if that's the last instruction, then we know that we should be left with 2 single crochets, and we are 1 2. Okay, we would have an issue if we were only left with 1 single crochet, because then how would you crochet 2 together? Okay, so just like at the beginning, here we're going to do the same thing. We're going to enter the first single crochet, yarn over, pull through to the front, and now we're going to enter that second single crochet, or the last one, yarn over again, pull through to the front, 3 loops. Now we can finally yarn over and go through all 3 loops. Okay, notice that symmetry is being maintained. So we single crochet 2 together at the beginning, then we put 1 single crochet in the next 14 stitches, and then we end it with crocheting 2 single crochets together at the end. Okay, so there is symmetry. The very last instruction for row 27 is to turn. So now we'll turn our work again like this. So we're looking at this side now. And then row 28 says to chain 1 and single crochet 2 together. So just like before, we're going to count that very first single crochet there. That'll be the first one, and then obviously the next one will be the second one. So the same stitch that we just chained 1 out of, the last single crochet of row 27, that's where we're going to enter. Okay, so in there like that. So enter the stitch, yarn over, pull through to the front, 2 loops. Now go into the next single crochet, which is there, yarn over, pull through. Okay, and now we have 3 loops, yarn over, go through 2. We just crocheted 2 single crochets together. Now it says single crochet into the next 12 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And guess what? Now we need to crochet 2 single crochets together at the end, and we're left with 2. 1, 2. So enter it, yarn over, pull through to the front, 2 loops, enter the next single crochet, yarn over, pull through to the front, 3 loops, yarn over, go through all 3. That is row 28. We turn our work. So now we're looking at this side. Chain 1. And it says for row 29, 2 single crochet, 2 together. So enter the same stitch, yarn over, pull through to the front, enter the next single crochet, like that, yarn over, pull through to the front, yarn over, go through all 3 loops. We just crochet 2 single crochets together. Those 2 became that 1. Now can you guess what we do next? Yes, we're going to put 1 single crochet into the next 10 stitches. So remember, in row 27 it was 1 single crochet into the next 14. Row 28 was 1 single crochet into the next 12. Now row 29 is saying 1 single crochet into the next 10. Do you notice the pattern? It's decreasing by 2 every row. Okay, so the next 10, let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Alright, and just like with every other row that we've done, at least the last 2, you're left with 2 single crochets, 1, 2, and we're gonna crochet them together. So enter the first single crochet, yarn over, pull through to the front, 2 loops, enter the second and last single crochet, yarn over, pull through to the front, you're left with 3 loops, yarn over, go through all 3. Okay, you'll notice that this is getting narrower, so it's going in, okay, on both ends, on both sides, slant, slant. Okay, that's what you want. We're going to turn our work again because we're moving on to row 29. Now we're going to chain 1, single crochet the first 2 together, okay, that one, then that one, yarn over, go through all 3. Now put 1 single crochet into the next 8 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We're going to single crochet these last 2 stitches together. So yarn over, pull through, enter the next one, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops, yarn over, go through all 3. Chain 1, turn our work again, single crochet the first 2 together, enter the next one, yarn over, pull through to the front, 3 loops, yarn over, go through all 3, single crochet into the next 6 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're left with these last 2. We're going to single crochet them together. So that's 1, and then we enter the next one, the last one, yarn over, pull through to the front, 3 loops, yarn over, go through 2. Turn our work again. Alright, so we just completed row 31. Now we're on row 32. We're going to chain 1 and then single crochet the first 2 stitches together. So 1, 2, 3 loops, yarn over, go through all 3. Now put 1 single crochet into the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then these last two we're gonna crochet together, single crochet together. So 2 loops, enter the last single crochet there. Okay, 3 loops, yarn over, go through all 3. Chain 1, turn your work. Moving on to row 33. And by the way, you guys, if I'm crocheting too fast, don't forget that you can replay this at a slower speed on YouTube. Okay. Row 33 says chain 1, which we did, and then single crochet 2 together. So these first 2. That's 1, and then go enter the second one for 3 loops. Yarn over, go through all 3. Now it says single crochet into the next 2 stitches. 1, and then the next one, 2, and now we're going to single crochet these 2 together, the last 2. So 1, that's 2 loops, enter the last single crochet, and that's 3 loops, yarn over, go through all 3. Turn our work. Now we're at row 34. It says to chain 1, and then we're going to single crochet the first 2 together. So that's the first stitch, and then we're going to enter the second one, yarn over, pull through to the front for 3 loops, yarn over, go through all 3 loops. Okay, and then we're going to single crochet the next and last 2 together as well. So enter the single crochet, yarn over, pull through to the front, enter the next single crochet, yarn over, pull through to the front, 3 loops, yarn over, go through both. Alright, turn our work. Round 35, we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to put 2 single crochet into the next 2 stitches. So if you look here, we only have 2 stitches. We have that one and we have that one. Those are the only 2 stitches. Okay, so in each of these stitches we're going to put 2 single crochet. So we'll enter here like that, put 1 single crochet, and then re-enter there and put 2. So that's the second one. Now move on to this one. There's that top, so we'll enter there. And put 1 single crochet, and then we're going to re-enter there in that same stitch. And 2. So now each of these stitches has 2 single crochets. So you notice, if you take a step back, it was wide and then it went narrow, and this was as narrow as it went down to 2 stitches, and now we're starting to increase again. So we were decreasing to that point, and now we're going to start to increase up here. So we went from 2 stitches to 4 stitches. Okay. So now it says to turn your work. And by the way, you guys should try to turn the same way, okay, so that your yarn doesn't get too mixed up. If you cut your orange yarn or whatever color you use for the secondary color, if you cut that, then it doesn't matter. But because I didn't cut it, I just kind of left it hanging. It mattered. It matters to me how I turn. Alright, so moving on to row 36, says to chain 1. So we'll chain 1. And then it says to put 2 single crochet into the next stitches. And then put 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches, and then 2 single crochet into the next stitches. Turn. Alright, so this confused me the first time I read through this pattern, because I'm like, that doesn't work out if I do what it says, and it just doesn't really make the most sense. But what I deduced was meant is that they meant chain 1 and then put 2 single crochet into that very first stitch. So 1, and then go back in there, that same stitch, put 2. Okay, so 2 single crochet into the next stitches. So really it means 2 single crochet into the first stitch or into the same stitch, and then put 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches, because remember we have a total of 4. So that first one got 2, the next 2 will only get 1, so that's 1, and then moving on to the third one, that one gets 1. And then where it says 2 single crochet into the next stitches, what it really means is put 2 single crochet into that final stitch. And just remember the goal, you guys, you're increasing, okay? And go back in there and add another one, like that. So it's still maintaining the symmetry. We put 2 here, then we crochet 2, and then we put 2 on the end. So it's growing, it's getting wider, okay? Now it says to turn. So that's what I'm gonna do. Turning my work. Alright, that was row 36. Now row 37 says to chain 1. And I need to put 2 single crochets into that very first stitch. So right there, I'll put 2 single crochets in there. 1, and then go back in there. 2. Now I'm going to put 1 single crochet into the next 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to get 1 single crochet each. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then for that very final single crochet, that's where I'm going to put 2 single crochets to increase on that edge as well. So 1, 2. So you'll notice before, back here, when I was decreasing, I was crocheting 2 single crochets together on both ends, on each end, on either side. Now that I'm trying to increase and I'm growing it, I am increasing on either side. Okay, so I increase on either edge, and then I crochet a certain number of single crochets in the center. Okay, so that is row 37. Moving on to row 38. So I need to turn my work. Alright, row 38, chain 1. I already know before even reading the pattern that I have to put 2 single crochets in there. So that's 1, and then back in there I go for 2. And then I remember the previous row, I put 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches, so I can anticipate that the pattern will tell me to put 1 single crochet in the next 6 stitches, because remember before it decreased by 2, so since I'm increasing, it will probably increase by 2. And the pattern does say 1 single crochet into the next 6 stitches, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then 2 single crochet go into that final single crochet there. So get the top, if I can find the other half of it. There we go. Okay, like that. 1, and then back in there. 2. Alright, moving on to row 39. I need to turn my work. Chain 1, and then I want to put 2 single crochet into that very first single crochet, like there. So 1, and then back in there. 2. Now I'm going to put 1 single crochet into the next 8 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then in that final single crochet there, that's where I'm going to put 2 single crochets because I'm increasing on both edges. So if I can get in there, it can get a little tight at times, but we're going to do it. There we go. 1, and then back in there for 2. Turn our work. Moving on to row 40, we're going to chain 1. In that very first stitch, we're going to put 2 single crochet. 1, and then back in there. 2. And now we're going to put 1 single crochet into the next 10 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Remember, you should always be left with one stitch at the end so you can put the 2 single crochets into it. And then, yeah, 1 and then back in there for 2. Okay, so that's row 40. See how it's getting wider now? Okay, so Alright, so turn our work. Row 41, chain 1, put 2 single crochet into that very first stitch, 1 and then back in there, 2. Now we're going to put 1 single crochet into the next 12 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And then remember, you're left with that last single crochet that you're going to put 2 single crochet into that last stitch. So 1 and then back in there, 2. Alright, that is row 41. Turn our work. On to row 42. We're going to chain 1, 2 single crochet into that very first stitch there. So 1 and then 2. Now we're going to put 1 single crochet into the next 14 stitches. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Then we're left with that last single crochet that we're going to put. So just slice the top of the cake, get that icing, all of it. There we go, I think, yeah. 1, and then back in there for 2. Alright, that is the end of row 42. So this is what we have. Fold it that way, it works. Okay, so we've started the heel, okay, by bringing in the primary color, that first color, the same color that we used for the tail, and then we crocheted 18 single crochets and decreased for several rows. Then once we got to down to 2 stitches, we start to increase. And so in the next video, what we're going to do is we're going to sew up these sides. So we're going to connect this side with that and this side with that, so that it'll be like that. Alright, so basically the sock will, once we sew it, it will do this. And it'll become the heel, like that. Okay? But I think this is enough for today. I don't want to overwhelm you guys. But yeah, that's what it's going to essentially be, the heel. So we'll sew this edge and then the other edge on the back side, and you'll have your heel. So we'll do that in next week's video. Just make sure you crochet this part and you stop at row 42, and we will pick it up there. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one. In the meantime, happy crocheting.